I am literally starting from scratch because life as I knew it, ilisambaratika completely. And you know, sometimes you think you have everything put together and then watu wa Nairobi mnapenda kusema character development, mnapigwa character development. So I met my best friend in the whole wide world and we decided that we are gonna settle down. And so we begin this journey. 2 years into the relationship, for those of the people that don't know him, he lost his first wife while delivering his second born. And so he himself had been on a journey of trying to rebuild. And that is how we came together. And we said, you know what, you've been through stuff, I've been through stuff, let's do this. And it was genuine because we were the best of friends. And so we set on this path of rebuilding our lives. And 2 years down the line, he gets mental health issues. And I don't know what to do, Lynn. Because this is a scenario where this is something you've never tackled before. And you're young. In this union, you're very young.
And you're genuine.
And you don't know what to do. And then there's the kids, there's you, there's work. How do you balance all this? And so it was such a stressful period in my life. I would say the most stressful period in my life. I have never been put through a test as big as that. And I didn't know how to act. I didn't know what to do. So I decided I'm just going to be here. Whatever unfolds, I'm going to be here because I can't just think about myself. I have to think about him. I have to think about my boys. And so being in this constant situation of stress, I believe led me to be sitting where I am today because I'm not the kind of person who talks about my problems. Me ni ule mtu waku namezea. And I know most of you have called me strong all over social media, but imefika point hata sitaki kusikia mtu akiniita strong anymore. Because in my head I'm thinking, if only you see, like you just asked me, so how are you? I felt like breaking down because that's not something I hear all the time. People are just like, I admire you, you're strong.
Go girl.
And sometimes I just want someone to ask me, how are you? You know, because it's too much for one person to take. And so we dealt with whatever it is we were dealing with at that period. And then after, sorry, I'm quite the crier.
It's all right.
After that, we were trying to get our lives back to normal. I mean, we thank God for his. And I noticed that my arm, I don't know if you can notice that it's slightly swollen. So we started noticing that my arm is swelling. It wasn't this big at the time. And I kept telling Dan, imkono yangu, something is wrong. And I mean, the last thing you think about is cancer, because mnaambiwa signs and symptoms of breast cancer, matiti kutoa pus, ama blood, ama kupata pimples. But you see, those are the last minute signs and symptoms of breast cancer. There kuna early stages. So in fact, if I look back, I used to go through a phase of extreme fatigue. Na tukua tunajua, nilikuwa na complain. Yani ni asubuhi nimeamka na naambia dad, nimechoka. Ananiambia, maybe it's because you slept late last night.
Or it's work.
Ama it's work. But namwambia nimechoka. Namwambia saa jana sikufanya anything. Why am I waking up so tired? But we're just like, it's because I don't have like a particular sleep pattern or eating pattern. Unajua tu kazi yetu ya set. Sometimes you work late. Sometimes you don't eat. Sometimes you don't sleep at all. So that's what we were dealing with at the time.
Overall, how are you and Dan?
Dan and I are actually not in a good place. I know that's a touchy-feely topic.
And you don't have to go anywhere. You should
in depth.
Details.
We are not together anymore. But he's my friend.
Beautiful.
He's my friend.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. If you allow me, say just that.
Don't go anywhere else.
Yeah. This is someone who's seen me through the worst phases of my life.
Yeah.
And as much as people would want to focus on that situation from a negative point of view, after going through my heart and whatever, I sit here and say, he's my friend.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. And I understand his battles.
Yes.
I have my own.
Yeah.
He's walked with me through some of my own, and I with him through some of his. Yeah. And he's my friend. He will keep being my friend.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Pass our love.
I will.
Pass our love. More grace to him as well.
Yeah.
I just think if we can ever get to a point where I have so much to say, but I won't say it because you are my friend, and the storm will pass, but he will still remain.
It requires emotional wisdom.
Good.
And emotional intelligence. But not to say that I've not had those phases. I've just had them behind closed doors with my loved ones.
Yeah.
And with him. But for you to be able to get to a point where you can see beyond whatever adversity it is that came your way, for me, that is true friendship.
Good. More grace to him and the kids. That's all I can say. Like I also don't want to get into.
into that.
I don't want to get into
Thank you for
details.
that.